Well, what do you think? It's 6:30. It's a beautiful spring day. Why don't we sit down and talk fishing for a little while? Maybe a little turkey hunting. Maybe I can pass along to you a couple of things I learned, and it meshes in with what you know and what you've practiced in fishing and outdoors. And, well, maybe it'll work for us. What do you say? We'll spend the next half an hour together. And during today's broadcast, it's funny. See the saw? It's backwards, of course. That's the Works. There you are, look. Works Tools Reciprocating. It's an Axis 20-volt reciprocating saw. See that little blade right there? It can rotate down to the bottom and it becomes a jigsaw. It's really a great thing. I had planned on showing you my Works Tools saw today on camera, show it to you so that you could say, hey, I'd like to have one of those. And it looks like that. Well, typically, I loaned it to somebody, evidently, and they haven't brought it back. So, but that's okay. It's a 20-volt Works Axis reciprocating saw, and we're going to give it away at the latter part of the show. I got to keep you around for a few minutes at least. What do you think? Okay? Okay. Well, let's talk fishing for a few minutes. It's spring, and it's time, oh my goodness, it's time to catch them. Now, I will tell you this. What I'm about to tell you is what I have learned, not what I invented, not what I designed, not what I thought of. It's what I have learned from other people. So I'm going to tell you right now, in my observations, if you are a big lake fisherman, you go out there in your hot bass boat or quite frankly, I caught more fish in a 16-foot John boat with a 9.5 on it. But it doesn't matter. You're a big lake fisherman. There's stripers and spotted bass, and there's largemouth bass, and there's crappie, and there's, it's a great lake. All over the southeast, all over the country, these big reservoirs, and they're full of fish. And if it makes a difference to you that you catch the most you can and get the most bites you can, then the following dissertation, reminder, might serve you well. If not, just a day on the lake, whether you get a bite or not, which is kind of like me now, I don't care if I catch one or not, then that serves well also. But I learned the following because I had spent some terrific days on the lake, terrific hours with some really good fishermen. People that really needed to catch the most they could every day, the biggest and the most. And I observed the following, and I recommend the following to you. You have several rods rigged. Most of the time, when I was with spending a few hours with some of these Bassmaster tournament veterans, I noticed they had 6 or 8 rods rigged at all times. So they could change lures, they could change baits, they can change line size, they can cast far, they can cast short, whatever, immediately. So let's review for a moment what O'Neill has learned and what I might recommend for you to rig so that you can catch the most fish you can. Okay, big reservoir fisherman. Number one, not necessarily in this order. Number one, always have one rod, a 7, maybe a 7.5 footer, rigged with 8 to 10 pound test line and something that you can cast a long way. A mini mac, a bucktail jig, a spoon. Because if you're there and you're doodling around the points and you're maybe getting a bite every now and then from a spot or whatever, and all of a sudden, right beside you in the little cove or just off the point, stripers come up. They're not going to be up there long. You don't have time. Oh man, let's tie on a spoon and make a cast. Well, they're gone. Okay. But if they do come up, they do chase shad on the surface, drop your other rod, grab that one and make a cast. You might catch one. You might even catch two if they stick around, but not if you're in the boat tying on a spoon. They'll be gone. That's number one. Keep that one. Number two, plastic worms. Light color and a dark color. One that you'll cast on a Texas rig and one that you'll cast on a Carolina rig. Now, what's the difference? Okay, a Carolina rig, you can get to the bottom fast, 12, 18 feet. I want to fish this point. I think I'm going to throw a cast at this point. Probably a plastic worm is what I need to do. Let's make a couple of casts. You cast one on a Texas rig and wait for it to get to the bottom. If you use a Carolina rig, let's cast this, boom, it's on the bottom. You just saved enough time for 2 extra casts. Okay? All right. So you got a plastic worm, Texas rig, light tackle, small weight, in case they're on the surface, or it's a spotted bass, and the Carolina rig with a 1 ounce lead. That's the key to a Carolina rig, is the 1 ounce lead. Why? Because with that 1 ounce, man, and you got this big lead weight out there, and here's this leader trailing out from the back, excuse me, and it gets bit out here. It gets bit right here. Boy, because that 1 ounce lead is so in tune to the rod tip, you feel it all, and you feel it right away. There is no mystery. He's got it. How long does it take you to set the hook? Just before he bites. No, but quickly. Carolina rig, Texas rig, a long casting spoon. Okay. You see a swirl or two, and maybe it's a bass chasing shad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bass. Not stripers, not something you cast way out there as far as you can go. No, something that's really close by. But you don't want to throw a worm in there because it's going to take too long, and you're not in touch with the worm. So, a crankbait or spinnerbait. That's one of what you have to have. Spinnerbait. Let's talk about that. And I've made a career out of the following. Doesn't matter what color spinnerbait you have as long as it's chartreuse. But I'm going to make it better for you right now. And remember, these are rods that are right there, ready for you. Cast that spinnerbait. First of all, likely my choice, if I had to make a choice of two of the one that's going to be ready for me to cast, it's going to be a Colorado blade. Make as much more noise as you can. And I'll never, if I intend to catch one, I'll never cast a spinnerbait without a trailer hook. I know of, I won't call his name, but that's okay, he won't care, who finished second in the Bassmasters Classic using a spinnerbait. And the bites were so light and the bites were so short that he put on 3 treble hook trailer hooks. And that's how he finished second in the Bassmasters Classic. You don't need to throw a spinnerbait without a trailer hook. So, Texas rig, Carolina rig, long casting bait, and a spinnerbait. That's at least the minimum for you to have rigged all around you. And maybe double up on those. Because a lot of times, if you break off or you get a bite, okay, and you missed him, he swirled and missed, just drop that rod and throw another one in. Don't take time to, oh, reel it up, and then make another cast. That may be the difference. That 6 or 8 seconds may be the difference in that fish being available to you, that bass, that spot, that striper, that hybrid being available to your cast. That 5 or 6 seconds may make a huge difference. I'll refer to the following about how good these guys are and how well prepared they are. And that's what I'm trying to point out to you, that preparation. I fished one time. I hope you don't mind my mentioning his name again. He's a nice guy. His name is Davey Height. I fished with Davey one day, and I was in the, get this now, I was in the front of the boat. I had first cast. He's in the back of the boat. He's fishing used water. We're both using mop jigs. In 2 hours at this great lake, in 2 hours, I caught 2 and he caught 5. That's about right. He's at least 2.5 times better than me. But he was more well prepared and ready and practiced and so on. Okay, now, one of the tips for this springtime, here's something that you may not have thought of, and I got schooled. I was in a tournament many, many years ago. I was in a tournament at Clark's Hill. And I had been there the weekend before, and I had a spawning flat. I had 3 spawning flats. Water about 2.5 or 3 feet deep. I could not see the fish, but I knew it was a spawning flat. I had been in there and caught 1 or 2 and left, and another place caught 1 or 2, left, blah, blah, blah. I had them located. The guy that I drew that day was a local guy. We were at Clark's Hill. It's also called Lake Strom Thurmond. They named the lake after him after he had well, his wife had a baby when he was 72. Yes, ma'am.
I was afraid you were going to say something politically incorrect.
No. He was 72 years old when he had his last child. So they named the lake after him. Okay. I drew a guy, a local guy, and nice fella, and don't remember his name, but he got in the boat and I said, I've got some fish located. If you don't mind. He said, oh yeah, I've got them there too. I said, oh man, he's located fish, local guy, in the same place I've located fish. We're in good shape. Yeah, okay. So we go to these places. He finishes 3rd. I finished 11th. What was he doing different? Well, after about 2 that afternoon, I discovered it. Ready? We were both throwing spinner baits on a spawning flat. Both chartreuse spinner baits with a gold and a silver blade. So, what was he doing different that caught the fish from the back of the boat that I didn't catch in front of the boat? He had his trailer hook turned down. Here's a spinner bait, and the trailer hook, well, trailer hook was turned down. My trailer hook was turned up. He finished 3rd, and I finished 11th. So the next time you have that opportunity, you might think about turning the trailer hook down. I swear he never missed a fish. Those fish would blow up on those buzz baits and blow up on those spinner baits that were trailing across the surface and knock my spinner bait up in the air, and he caught every one. Now, it won't be long. It's April. By June, we'll be fishing a buzzbait. Terrific big bass bait, buzzbait. This is what I learned from a professional fisherman. I fished with him at a tournament at Lake Lanier a long time ago. And these fish were my fish. He jumped in the boat and he said, "Have you got any fish?" I said, "Yeah, I've got some. They're not big, but I've got some fish." "Okay, let's go." And he beat me that day because he was better. He beat me that day. Let's see, what was his name? Well, I'll think of it in a minute. You'll know it. He's won the Bassmasters Classic 3 times. And we were using buzz baits, and what he was doing that caught more fish than I did that day, which you should keep in mind. Remember those rods that are all rigged in the boat? If he had a blow up that missed a buzz bait, he didn't bother reeling up. All he did was drop the rod and grab a worm and threw a plastic worm right back in the swirl. And man, oh man, I swear, if you'll give it a try, it really does work. And it has for me since then. Yes, indeed. Grab a plastic worm and throw back in that circle, right in where that fish just missed you. For whatever reason, he didn't bite it, he just missed it, he swirled at it, no matter what the case might be. Throw back. And you'll get bit almost every single time. Interesting, huh? His name was Rick Clunn, C-L-U-N-N, and he was one of those that's different. He's better. Okay, I think he's won the Bassmasters Classic 2-3 times. I angled it a year and all that kind of stuff, and so on. Anyway, I'm fortunate to have been able to fish with a lot of really good fishermen, and I'm a good observer. I mean, you get in a boat with Rick Clunn, Davey Height, why not? So, and I've learned from a lot of guys who aren't Bassmaster guys at all. Anything going on, honey? Gail's with me behind the little camera. Yes.
No, just people are signing in, watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate.
No questions other than somebody wanted you to go gator hunting with them, and of course I'm going to say no.
No.
We don't need any gators.
I'm too old to go hunting gators. I am. Anyway, all right. Where am I? Oh, all right.
Right there.
I'm right here.
Yeah, on Sassafras Mountain.
Yeah. Sassafras Mountain. 2 miles over the horizon is Amicalola Falls State Park. And it's a lovely place. It's right. We live next to what's called the Dawson Forest, which is 27,000 acre wildlife management area. We have a little log cabin on the side of the mountain here and enjoy it very much. This is the studio from which we send out the radio show every Saturday morning. And it's most pleasant. We don't have to go anywhere if we don't want to. Okay. Anything else right now?
Ken Burke said, this is really good information you're sharing.
Okay.
Which I thought was nice.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
If it helps you to be aware through me of what someone else practices in fishing, if it helps, because let's think about it for a minute. If you do these things and not become a real stuffed shirt about it, but nevertheless they're available to you, it doesn't cost you anything, the upside is really good. Downside is awful. Oh, the stripers are up. Hold on, let me put on the spoon. No.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Gail is
Somebody
over.
says throw a jerk bait after the buzz bait. I don't know if that's a question or a statement.
Oh, that is also a jerk bait. It's a surface shallow swimming jerk bait. You cast it back into the swirl also, and many times that'll work. Get something over there. I'm telling you this and calling for you to use a plastic worm because it was demonstrated to me expertly from Rick Clunn that that's what he did. So if it's good enough for Rick Clunn, it's good enough for me. So there you are.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Evidently he calls them crappie. We call them crappie.
Okay.
Biting at Lake Lanier.
Oh,
He had
man.
a good night last night.
Oh, they're already fishing at night at Lanier for crappie?
Well, this guy is. Yeah.
Okay, well,
There
good.
you go.
There's
And
only
what
about
size-
8 or 9 billion of them in the lake. So, pardon me?
This is interesting.
Okay.
What size motor do you have on your boat?
what size engine do I have on my boat now? I do not own a boat now. As a matter, I have not owned a boat for a long, long time. They were always given to me to use on the television show. So I haven't owned a boat in a long, long time. But I caught an awful lot of fish out of a 16-foot, I guess it was a bass tracker with a 10 horsepower, something like that.
When was the last time you fished Lake Wiley?
When's the last time I fished Lake Wiley? Long enough not to remember the last time I fished Lake Wiley. I tell you what, the methods that I'm asking you to recall.
No, he said no, it was Lake Jackson in Monticello.
Oh.
He was wrong. Okay.
Jackson Lake? Oh,
Well, Lake Jackson, Jackson Lake, that's kind of the same thing.
well, yeah. I made some big catches at Jackson Lake.
May I say something?
You certainly may.
Would you remind everybody that we're going to be giving away a
Oh.
gift at the end of this, so they don't need to. If they want to know if they won or not, they need to kind of stay around.
You need to stick around. We're going to give away an Axis reciprocating saw from Works Tools toward the end of the show. It's my way of keeping you here, quite frankly.
Kind of. And
Kinda,
even
sorta.
you don't know how we're going to do it.
And I don't know how we're going to pick somebody. Gail will, somebody will.
I have figured it out.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I have figured
All right.
it out.
Axis reciprocating saw. As I said when we, just in case you missed when we started, I had one of these to show you. Because I wanted you to see what it looked like. And I evidently loaned it to somebody and they haven't given it back. So I don't have one to show you. All I have is this right here. Okay.
Okay, somebody wants to know if I can get your podcast on Saturday morning if, say, I miss it by an hour or so.
Yes, I think so. You can listen to the podcast at
O'Neill Outside.
O'Neill Outside website, O'Neill and WSB also website. And while I've got some promotional interruption or opportunity, this is O'Neill Outside. 65 years in the outdoors, people and places along the way. You can purchase it at my website off the homepage, and I'll sign it for you. Or, local guys, you can go to Beaver Toyota. It's a fabulous Toyota dealer in Cumming, Georgia. It's $20 at Beaver. But all $20 goes to the Lanier Crappie Anglers Club and the Children's Fishing Classic. The whole $20. You buy the book, the entire $20 goes toward the Children's Fishing Classic, and with the book and your $20, you'd get a $10 Bojangles coupon for some terrific sausage biscuits. So, okay. That's at Beaver Toyota. All right, where are we? Anything? Oh, she's laughing. That's not good. What? What?
Our princess says,
Okay.
do you realize that when you hold that paper up that it's backwards?
Yes, I do.
Tell her we didn't come in last night. So
I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I've done this before. Yeah, I know it's backwards.
Yeah.
And
we can't help it with a live broadcast.
Yeah.
We can do it another way, but not this way.
There you go. All right, where am I here? I've talked enough about spring fishing. I understand crappie are biting like mad everywhere. Bass are biting. I'm trying to help you out with some of those things that I've learned over the years. So there you are. I see our daughters are watching.
Yes, both of them.
How about that? No kidding.
And neither one of them can win the saw.
No, they won't win the saw.
In fact, one of them probably has yours.
That's not a... Probably so. I loaned the saw to somebody and they haven't brought it back. All right, where am I here? All right, it's turkey season.
Don't they have Bojangles in Florida?
Yes, there's some Bojangles in
Yeah,
Florida.
because somebody said they wish they were down in Florida. Well, they are.
A few along the freeway, 75.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Bojangles is best biscuits. Oh. All right, when is the best time for you to go turkey hunting? Anytime you can. Okay, good. Anytime you can go, you should go. When is the best time for you to have the greatest opportunity to harvest a turkey? The best time, best place is where some of them exist. What time of the year is the best time for you to go turkey hunting and expect to harvest a turkey and have one answer your calls and have one to come in so that you can take photos of him or shoot him? The latter part of the season. Matter of fact, I would tell you that wherever you live, what part of the season is the last week or last 2 weeks. Why is that? Because most of the hens have been bred. Most of the hens after sunrise will fly down and they'll go to the nest and they leave the gobbler or the gobbler alone. But he hears you. Ooh, that's somebody I don't know. I better go over there. Gobble, gobble. Maybe she should come to me because that's what usually happens. Gobble, gobble. Cut. Cut. Yep. That's 3 calls in 30 minutes. And all of a sudden, there he is. He's lonesome. He doesn't have any hens. They've all gone to the nest. So he says, I need to make a new friend, and that's you. You can shoot him if you want, take photos if you like, or don't do anything. It's funny. The outstanding turkey writer is, oh my goodness, my brain. Tom, what's his name, honey? Tom.
Who?
The turkey, Tom Kelly.
Oh.
Tom tells me the story that he was holding a turkey hunting class at a lodge over in Alabama. And he had 4 guys with him, all in the bushes and the blinds. And Tom called in, and this was the plan. This was the plan for Tom to demonstrate the call and the responses so that he could call in a turkey for these guys so they could witness it and learn from it. And he did that. And the gobbler came in and he was strutting. And Tom said, bang! Turkey never moved. One of the guys says, Tom, you missed him. You got to have fun, don't you?
Oh, shoot.
Got to have fun. Tom, you missed him, Tom. Okay.
Just,
Yes, ma'am.
shoot. I lost your page.
Oh, you.
Well,
Well, let me look here. Oh, it's almost time.
Yeah, Jean wants to know, is there ever a time when a hen turkey has too many breedings and she won't accept anymore?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When she's done laying the eggs, she only has the hen only has the capability of laying so many eggs, probably 10 or 12. When she reaches that, then she's not interested in Tom anymore. Get out of here, okay? Leave me alone. I'm going to fly down. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to go sit on the nest and see if I can hatch these birds, these poults. Yes, and she will not accept him anymore. And so there you are. What, honey?
I was just laughing at some of the comments.
Okay.
On there. Okay. What time? Can you see the clock right here? What time is it?
It's 6:59. It's time for us to give away, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And so it's closed as of this moment for anybody else to win.
Okay.
The winner will be.
The people that have already posted a response,
We're done. Yeah.
no more people,
So,
no more posts will be effective toward that. And when we pick the winner, we will.
And you're going to pick the winner.
I am.
have them. Yes, I have them on this little paper right here. But
Yeah.
hold on a minute.
And we'll pick that winner, and then we'll email that winner, and we'll find out your address and send to you the Works reciprocating saw.
All right.
Ready? How am I go? Oh, what did you do?
Okay, what I did, because we did not know how we were going to do this.
Right.
And I can't pick it because I know too many of these people.
Okay.
So I wrote down everybody when they called, when they made a post.
You're so smart.
And if they said, hello from wherever,
Okay.
I wrote their name down on a piece of paper and put it in here.
Okay.
So that is, if you said where you were from on your, what do you call it? On your post.
Response or post,
then
yeah.
your name is in this pot right here. So all you have to do is reach in there and pull one out and read the name. That's the winner.
The winner of the Axis Tools 20-volt reciprocating saw is Matt Duran.
I don't know.
All right, Matt, you're the winner, buddy boy. Now, how do we get a hold of him? So
He needs to,
you need to email me, I guess, at the website.
Yeah.
Email at o'neilloutside.com. Email.
Or was it? Didn't Karen say?
I'll pass it
Houston?
along to her.
No, didn't she say for them to email it to her at Houston?
Well, I know, but just do it with me. Oh yeah, there's Matt right there. Oh wow, you won it. You know this thing cost about $100. Let me tell you about this little saw. See this blade right here? That blade, it takes you about 3 seconds. All you do is push this blade down to the bottom, turn it around, and you've got a jigsaw. It's a fabulous idea. It really is. So Matt Duran won. There he is. That's his little entry
I wrote
blank.
it down.
Yep.
That's the only fair way I could think of to do it.
So Matt, send an email to O'Neil. Well, there's his email, but you need to send an email to O'Neil Outside. Let me just a minute. Let me write that down. Can you write this down?
Honey, it'll show up when you save that.
Oh, I will.
Or he can private message you.
Okay.
Either one.
All right. Well, there you are.
Next week it won't be that. It'll be something else.
We'll give away something else next
No,
week.
We'll
Or what?
have another way of winning.
Ah,
But
okay.
I don't know what that's going to be because we have to be fair.
This is a mystery.
I just came up with this one. I said
That's a
down at the
fabulous
best.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Duran. Okay.
But if I had said that's what was going to, I mean, we would have been bombarded. So I just, the first time we're trying.
Oh, okay. Well, Susan said she really did need one of those.
I know she did. But since I've known her since we were in the 2nd grade.
We don't believe you, Susan. We consider the information from its source, or we could consider the source from the information.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? We out? Oh, I got something I want to tell you. Listen. The business of life is the acquisition. The business of life is the acquisition of memories. Hey, I'll see you Saturday morning. What do you say? 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., WSB Radio, and all over the country, nationwide, worldwide, and I'd love to hear from you that day too. So we'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed it.